Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm
He-
amazing. I'm so happy to have you here.
Likewise, I'm happy to be had.
I can't believe this is the first time that we at KMEL have a chance to sit down with the Oakland legend. Of course, we got the one and only Ryan Coogler in the building. Now, congratulations on all of your success
Thank
and
you.
your new movie, Sinners. When the first trailer released, however many months ago, we weren't sure what kind of film it would be. But now
Uh-huh.
we have the new trailer, and I have been blessed enough to be able to watch the film. I'm so excited for people to see it because for me, I feel like I haven't seen this type of film since the 90s, 2000s, this type of black vampire film, but it's so much more than that, right? So, what actually inspired you to make this film and to write this?
Yeah, that's a great question. It came from a lot of different places, man. Like the main one I would say is um out of my relationship with my uncle James,
Mhm.
uh, he was my great aunt's husband. He was from Mississippi, relocated to Oakland like in his 20s.
Wow.
And he was kind of like the oldest uh male figure in my family. Um, he passed away in 2015 while I was working on a film called Creed,
Yep.
and he was just like a really great influence on my life. And his favorite thing to do was listen to blues music. He'll listen to him on all records, listen to him on CDs. So if I ever got to spend time with him, that's what he would want to do. And I associated that music with him. And after he passed away, I would listen to it to remind myself of him. Reminisce. And that's really like that action of just listening to blues records and trying to recall somebody, trying to recall a memory is I think a big part of how I came up with the idea for this movie. It was among other few things too, but that's kind of like the base of it. You know what I'm saying? And he wouldn't talk about Mississippi much. I could tell it was he fled from the state. Um, I would learn later from his daughter, my cousin, like exactly what the circumstances were. But the only time he would talk even a little bit about it was when he was listening to them records. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's really interesting about the film? One thing I noticed, I felt like even though the film takes place in 1932, you got an all-star cast, Michael B. Jordan, Lindo, Miles Canton he's making his film debut.
He is, man. He is. He's an incredible musician. Who worked with Gabby. He worked with
Yeah,
HER. Yeah. Um, did backup vocals for her and toured with her. Came up in the church, but yeah, this is his first movie. This is his first time acting in the film, and he did it. I mean, what'd you think? Did you think he did a good job?
I had no idea he was actually a singer. I thought you guys had somebody else singing for him. And I had to look it up afterwards. I was like, wait a minute. He got one of the most unique voices I've ever heard, and it was just
Yeah,
angelic. Like it spoke to your soul. So I could see why you casted him.
yeah.
The fact that he's actually a singer and he did such a good job acting. I thought he was a professional actor.
No, it was his first movie. He's a professional singer. But it was his first film role. And he had to learn how to play the guitar for the movie too. That's him playing. And he's a trained pianist. You know what I'm saying? But he had never played the guitar like that. So he had to learn once we cast it. And we found him about 3 months before we started shooting.
What
And
made you choose him?
man, we worked with an incredible casting director named Francine Maisler, who I worked with on Creed for the first time. She does tons of movies, man, and she's really great at her job. And we did a essentially a worldwide search looking for this role. Like I knew I wanted Mike to play these identical twins,
Yeah.
but the movie really tells the story of this kid, who looks up to his older cousins and wants to be like them. But he's a blues prodigy himself,
Oh,
and we kind of base him off of those legendary blues musicians you hear about, your Son Houses, your Robert Johnsons, your Howlin' Wolves. We knew we had to find this kid, man. We knew we had to find a kid who could both act and sing. And the bonus was finding him because he had this voice that felt old. You know what I'm saying? Like he's 19, this kid. You know what I'm saying? But he sounds like he sounds like he come from a different time. You know what I mean?
your old man. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It
absolutely.
No, he definitely was perfectly cast for that role. And it's funny because when I realized all of that and then I put it all together after the fact of just some of the old things you used to hear of blues musicians back then about how they traded their souls
Yep.
to the devil for their talent. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, it all makes sense now. And it's funny because when I was watching the film from the minute it started all the way through, I literally from especially I don't want to give away any spoilers, but
That's all good.
in the scenes where the people are all having a good time enjoying each other's company.
Mm-hmm.
It literally, no matter when you were born, you can see yourself in that scene because that's what we do to now. Like,
Yep.
and when you go to the club, you gotta leave sweaty, otherwise you ain't having a good time. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And
Exactly.
so, when you made the film, did you want to make sure that the viewers, like myself, saw themselves like, "Yo, yes, this happened in 1932, but this could really happen today."
Absolutely. Absolutely. One thing I'm interested in, and this movie gave me a great opportunity to do that. Um, is this concept of the past as present. You know what I mean? Cause so often, especially coming up in the Bay Area, I mean, you know about this, right? You from Frisco, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so many of us in the black community, we products of the Great Migration.
Mhm.
So like our grandparents, they speak with Southern accents. You know what I'm saying? It was oftentimes they were born in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi,
Right.
Arkansas. You know, and that idea of we used to, if we heard somebody talking with a Southern accent, we would say, man, you talking like an old person, you talking like a grandma, not knowing that
Yeah.
our heritage was just a few generations removed from that, from that place.
Right.
And I was very interested in telling a story about our grandparents,
Yeah.
but from the perspective of being that age. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to feel current because that's what they were like. You know what I mean? They were basically us in a different time.
Having a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, like your grandmother, your great grandmother might have been a radio DJ and a host had she
Hmm.
had that opportunity.
Right.
But life wasn't built like that at that time. So she did what she did. You know what I mean? But and that idea of like seeing seeing what we would have been if we was under the type of circumstances. You know what I mean? And making sure that it felt fresh. Because these were people these people in their 30s.
Yeah.
They even though they were dealing with a lot of oppression at that time, that
Right.
they were still constantly finding ways to affirm their humanity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To be complete human beings. You know what I'm saying? To love, to laugh. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? To fellowship, as we say in the film. And the juke joint, that was a place where that happened. That eventually became the nightclub. You know what I mean?
Loves now.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
eventually, exactly. And they gave birth to what I think is the most important American contribution to global popular culture, blues music, you know what I mean? Which became rock and roll, which became pop music, which became hip hop, which
Right.
became jazz, you know what I'm saying? Like it became what the whole world recognized as cool and valuable, and of worth. They birthed it right there in them fields, you know what I mean?
You know, it's interesting because you were speaking earlier about love and fellowship. And one thing I loved about the film is there's obviously a serious tone to it, but
Yeah.
also there's a bunch of jokes that you catch all the way going through. And there's like, there were moments when I was like, yup, you got to listen to black women when we tell you something, right? So like throughout the film, it feels like it takes you on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. And as much as I love Michael B. Jordan, as every woman does, there were moments where I hated him, and then
Yeah.
other moments where I was like, "Oh, my heart is breaking for him right now."
Uh-huh.
So it's one of those films you have to watch to the very, very end. I'm saying through the credits to people because one thing about Ryan, he's gonna have a surprise for you. And what do you want people to leave with after watching this film?
To be honest, I want people to just like have a great time at the movies. That's what it was made for. Like I'm not sure where area you came up in. You look ageless on the
Elmo.
on the Zoom. No, I'm saying where era, like what time, what I mean, like when you came out of high school and all that. But me coming up in the 90s and the 2000s, we really were going to the movies. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And when we wasn't going to the movies, we was renting them from Blockbuster and throwing parties at the house where everybody gather around the tape and watch something scary or watch something sexy or something fun. And for me, the biggest thing I want people to have is a good time. You know, I want them to be thrilled. I want them to be enticed. You know, and I want folks to go with their friends and experience on the biggest screen possible. So that's number one. Just the experience of having watched something great. You know what I mean? Having watched something that feels representative of the human experience. You know what I mean? And outside of that, you know, like I do want folks to think about you know, our history differently. You know what I'm saying? Like the 1930s is a period that's oftentimes glossed over. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're black. You know what I mean? Because we were dealing with so much at that time. It's things that we didn't want to look at. You know, but I think in the act of looking away, you know, we're not realizing how great these people were and what we come from and the perseverance. You know, but also like the vitality. You know what I'm saying? Like of those people. You know, because of them, you know, we able to do what we do now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was really excited to shine a light on this moment in American history, and all of its dark spots and bright spots. You know, and also shine an eye on the people, man, because they us. That's where we came from. You know.
Right. And I will tell you that I'm not a girl who likes to do horror films just because I go home and have nightmares. But this one, oh my God. Like I can't even describe it because it's not like anything I've seen before. So you
Uh,
definitely did your thing. We are so proud of you here. I am so happy for all of the success you have had from Fruitvale Station on. I hope you know people out here in the Bay, when they see Ryan Coogler produce, everybody getting their tickets ahead of time.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man, and I'm proud of you too, man. I've been listening to KMEL my whole life, but
Oh,
seeing you come up and do your thing and being from the crib, man, it means a lot, and I know people from Frisco who came up with you and speak highly of you. You know what I mean? They always say you move with integrity. So yeah, man, I'm happy to hear that you like the film, and it's an honor to be here with you.
no, I'm gonna be real with you, Ryan. If you ever need anything from us, or you ever just like, hey, I'm dropping a movie, we own it. We gonna get the word out. So definitely let us know. Obviously, if there's ever anything we can do, or ever work with you on, or you just want a review, because I keep it to myself, but I tell you how I feel.
Right on. Man, I'm gonna take you up on all of that, man. Like it's getting complicated for the film industry. You know what I'm
Oh, I
saying?
know.
With you know, especially coming out of the pandemic, which affected all industries. It affected everything that we do socially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with the, you know, advances of technology, man, you know, like the investments that's being put in the streaming content, you know, the act of going to the movies, like the whole culture of it is definitely under threat.
Okay.
So anything that you know,
But you know what I see
any
with
help that
this?
y'all can do. What's that?
What I see with this film, you remember old school, like when Cash Money used to drop films, or back when they dropped them type of film. This is a type of film that's going to have that type of reaction. And that's where I don't think that people understand that yet because they haven't
Yeah.
seen it. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh no,
Can I
this is
can I
for the
can I
moment. This is high school.
Yeah, can I show you something crazy? I'm gonna show you something crazy. I gotta turn my phone back on because
Okay.
I turned it off because we was recording. But it's funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because man, we must be we must be around the same age. Now that you talking, I'm
We
listening to
are.
what you. Okay,
We
okay,
are.
bet. But what school did you go to?
I went to Wash and then I went to City, then went to Cal.
Oh, that's what's up. You
Yeah.
was wait, what year you come out of car?
Oh four, five? No, oh
Okay,
six. Oh six.
okay, you was there with Marshawn.
Yeah, I was there with
Yeah.
Marshawn, Deshaun Jackson, Desmond Bishop.
Yep. I came up with I came. You know, I played against that team when
Deshaun.
my junior season at Sacramento State. We was the opening game. They beat the shit out of us. I had a couple good catches.
That's crazy.
Um,
I should have
yeah,
went to a game
yeah. But I came up with Lynch, and I used to play. I came up with Desmond too. Desmond was from.
from the city.
Oh, was he from the city?
I believe he was from the city
Oh,
because
wow.
he was over at City College with me for a minute too, and
Yeah,
then he transferred over there.
I thought he might have been from Vallejo or Fairfield or something, but he got a whole family, man. That they used to play on that side.
No, they
Um,
do.
yeah, and it was another cat that was there who was little Rob Jordan.
Yeah, that's my homie. I think
Yeah,
he's training and stuff now too.
yeah. He in business with Marshawn.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna show you this because of what you said.
Did you ever meet Lavelle or Deshaun
Yeah,
Jackson?
Lavelle Mission. Yeah, from
Laval
Stockton.
Hawk.
Oh nah. But Deshaun, I know. I played against Deshaun. He from Long Beach.
Yeah, that's a homie too. Bruh, see, I told you.
You got to describe for listeners what you see though. You feel me?
Straight up. That is paid in full days, cash money, movie days, movie theater packed, people throwing popcorn. But it's a good time and we all saved. So
Was you at that Hot Waves concert? They got shut down at the
actually I
Coliseum.
was. Yeah, when they was throwing chairs and people was fighting on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. You know, I was there. That might have been one of my first concerts.
Oh man.
Man, if you leave it to me, I'm gonna talk to you all day, and I know your people telling me you ain't got time for all this.
Uh,
So, when does the movie come out, and what's the last words you want to say to your peoples out here in the Bay?
Man, I mean, the last words I want to say to the Bay is thank y'all for all the support over the years, showing up for everything that we put out. The movie comes out Easter weekend. April 18th is the official release date. But we got some early advance screenings on the 16th and the 17th. Go see it in IMAX if you can, or go see it on a 70 millimeter print at the Grand Lake in Oakland. But we everywhere, man. We every different which way you can watch a movie. Support your local theaters, support your multiplexes, man. Go check us out.
Definitely go check it out. Bring your friends, aunties, grandmas, everybody. Buy your tickets early because we need those things sold out every weekend. All right, Brian, I appreciate you so much.
Right
Thank
on,
you.
Shay. I appreciate you. Thank you.